Sleeping Beauty is the newest collection from our friends at Stamperia. This is the 12 by 12 paper pad. There's an 8 by 8, there's rice paper, there is a chipboard gazebo and die cuts. So let me show you the whole collection. Now, as I said, this is 12 by 12. There are 13 cutouts and most of them are right there, all in English and just beautiful. Here we have Once Upon a Time, the Sleeping Beauty. The back side of that is a tapestry. And then we have the fairy tale. Isn't she beautiful? You're going to see these again in the rice paper too, as well as in the die cuts. And there's the back side. Here we have The Great Feast was at its height. The board was spread with plates of gold and all sorts of rare food. It's looking good. And then we have the back side. Now, there is the beauty, and here she is. So you can see her. There's a bird cage up there, really pretty arbor in the garden. And there's the back side with just that arbor. Here she is sleeping, and to her name. In fact, I don't even know what her name is. Okay, we've got the floral. And here is Prince Charming, the fairy tales, and his white steed. And there is more of the tapestry. And there are the lovers. This gives you some of the text, just really beautifully done. And there is the back side, so the fairy book with the text, if you want to do something else with it. Here are part of the 13 cutouts right there, a little under 6 by 6 each. Once Upon a Time, Happily Ever After, Dreams Come True, and Make a Wish. And there's the back side, a little bit plainer, but quite lovely. And they lived happily ever after. There's the back side with roses, and there are more of the cutouts. My goodness, I have a feeling there might be more than 13. In fact, I'm sure there are now that I look at it. There's the back side, and there are more cutouts. So I think I need to recount those. There is the 12 by 12. The 8 by 8 is exactly the same artwork, certainly just scaled down. So I'll just flip through this so you can see it one more time. And then we'll move on to the rice papers. So remember that artwork, because you're going to see imagery of that again so that you can do lots of different things with these. Okay, the rice paper, we're going to start with the fairy tales. All of these are 9 by 12 and just a beautiful size. So there's fairy tales. This is the Sleeping Beauty rounds. As you can see, these will fit on our circular chipboard as well as using circle die cuts if you want to make frames around them. This is titled Lovers, as you can see. Here is the princess. And here is the cradle. Let's see. They are somewhat translucent, as you can tell. And here is the castle. So that worked nicely. Now, in the die cuts, I'm going to slide them in here. We do have an image of all of them on the product page, and you can see many are large, and yet you've also got some that are smaller that will fill in, but you can see the cradle as well as the princess, lots of flowers, the castle, the wedding rings, and there's the prince. And then you've got some greetings, in fact, several of them, and that's really nice. And in total, there are 38 pieces, and you can get a lot of good out of these. Once Upon a Time, which, whoops, let's bring that down because that's how it always begins. Make a Wish, and as I said, flowers and so forth, all of that. Now, in addition, I'm going to scoot this aside. There is a gazebo out of chipboard, and it has 2 pieces. And Steve, will you get in close, because I want you to see the finished look of it, because it is just quite lovely. Now, this isn't very large. It's going to measure about 3 inches wide and about 4.5 inches tall, and it's just beautiful. You just slip them together, glue them together, and really with that photograph, you don't need too much. The base, well, that's what the base looks like, and that's going to establish kind of the width, although it will be a little bit wider when you get the top on it. So just lovely. Now, we didn't buy a ton of these, so I just want you to know that that is an option to go with all of the rice papers, and the 8x8 as well as the 12x12. Very beautiful Sleeping Beauty.